Hey everyone, welcome back to Metanoia. My name is Carrie Jane, and today we're going to discuss the 3 Life Path Child. If you haven't done so already, please go to the beginning of my playlist and watch my video on the Children of Gaia. That is the introduction video to this entire playlist. And I also recommend checking out my How to Interpret the Life Path Number video as well, which is something that I made in my original Life Path playlist. And as always, if you want to schedule a reading with me or support my channel, check out the links in the description, and please let me know if you have any questions. The 3 Life Path Child. As we do in all these videos, let's discuss the core attribute of the 3 Life Path number. If you haven't watched my Life Path series, this is new information to you. But the 3 Life Path core attribute is about communications. It's very much involved in the arts. It's very much involved in having a sense of humor, things like that. And the way that this translates to a child is very straightforward. This is going to be a very straightforward video, kind of like an obvious discussion, but still something worth mentioning. The 3 Life Path Child, or rather the main goal with your 3 Life Path Child, is to create an environment where the child survives into adulthood, like the inner child. It is most important for the 3 Life Path to have this healthy connection with their inner child, to have that like thriving inner child, because the 3 is all about joy. It's about getting connected to joy. It's about experiencing that sort of frequency, and you can't get there if you are in this dense cloud of nihilistic, kind of like meaningless, outlooks or attitudes that we tend to adopt into adulthood as things happen to us and we become jaded. A healthy adult Life Path 3 will be able to face adversity and still have that inner child. They'll still be able to have a sense of humor. In fact, a lot of the times that sense of humor is what gets them through things. So our main goal here for our Life Path 3 child is to make sure that survives. The key thing to focus on here is to help your 3 Life Path child find their voice. And I wrote a little list here of what to do and what not to do regarding that. And let's begin with what not to do. I said, do not talk over them. Do not talk for them. I know that it's very common, especially now, for kids to be born and not talk until 3 or 4 or even 5 or 6 sometimes. And it's really important, I think, to just not become overbearing and, help foster your child communicate their needs. I understand this on a small level because I was born kind of mute, like I didn't want to talk. I knew how to talk because, your baby brain is a sponge and it knows words and it knows how to make sounds come out of your face usually, but I remember kind of being trapped in my own mind and not feeling like it was natural to speak audibly. And thankfully my mom was a preschool teacher, so she knew how to encourage this. And she had to tell my siblings to stop allowing me to point to things, but actually make me say what I need verbally. Doing something like that, I think, would be beneficial for your 3 Life Path child. And when you take them into social situations and people ask questions about your child or towards them, don't answer for them. Even if they stumble on their words, just let them talk, okay? Do not be that overbearing parent that just talks for them constantly and is kind of in control of everything. That is a great way to silence a person in general, not just a 3 Life Path, but to make it hard for them to feel the urge to communicate their needs or whatever's going on in their head. I wrote here, do not discourage them for the arts, because that will be their lifeline throughout their whole life. And I also wrote here, do not force them into uncomfortable social situations. So they may have things they're not particularly keen on doing in as far as social stuff. Make sure they have exposure, to that's what I wrote here in like what to do list. It's a small list, but yeah, make sure they have a lot of social exposure, but that doesn't necessarily mean like making them do a lot of unnecessary things that's like truly not necessary, that just makes them uncomfortable. For any human being, that would not help their confidence. So I trust you to know what is, what boundaries to place, and that I'm not going to be specific at all with that. And then I wrote what to do, introduce creative hobbies, just have things available, notice what they gravitate towards and what they don't, and then go from there. Maybe it's like, oh, if you're interested in this, maybe you'll also like that. Do things like that. Yeah, teach them good listening skills, because a good listener is a good communicator. Simple as that. And as I said before, yeah, socialize them with many different age groups. I don't think it would be great for a 3 life path to be homeschooled, and if they are homeschooled, like they're going to need a lot of extracurricular activities, I think, just to be able to interact with their peers. That will really foster their gift as a communicator. So that's really necessary. That is when it's really good to know, I think, what life path number maybe your kids are. Normally I wouldn't expect it to be that important, and even just in general, like I do not ask for everyone's birthday. Like, I'm not that typical kind of astrologer type of person that is just like, forget everything you need to tell me about you, give me your birthday. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not I'm not, I don't know how to put this. Like, I'm not so entrenched in numerology that I think that's the only way you need to understand things, if that makes any sense. I'll just leave it at that. So, like, normally when I meet a kid myself, I'm not, like, asking for their birthday and stuff like that. It's something that is just additional and helpful in my understanding to them, but it's not absolutely necessary. But I think that especially if, for whatever circumstance that you're in, you need to homeschool your kid, or maybe you're like raising them on your own or whatever, it's when numerology kind of helps out a lot with this, because it's like, when you learn the life path numbers, you can kind of identify, oh, this is why my child is doing this, and this is why, they like this and not that. Here's a thing I can do, a potential avenue I can take to help, foster that and have it work for both sides. That was very general, and I apologize for that. But it's like, all these videos are just going to be general because I'm making them for so many different kinds of people. So here we are. I also wrote here, every person and child communicates differently. Building a healthy sense of self and self-esteem will encourage them to explore all the ways one can speak. And that's really all I have. That is basically the 3 life path child in a nutshell. And as I've said, for all these videos so far, it's obviously going to depend on the child. No two people or 2 children are alike, because of their unique environmental circumstances. We're all born into very unique circumstances, and we're all going to react differently to that based on a lot of things, based on our life path number, based on simple things as our like sibling placement, or who our siblings are, what life path numbers the siblings are. That is something that also has an impact on that. There's a lot that goes into it, so always just keep that in mind through this video and all my other videos as well. Please let me know if you have any questions on anything that I said in this video, or maybe just something that, I couldn't possibly answer because I don't know the circumstance that you are investigating. And thank you so much for watching this video if you made it to this point. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe so that those who are meant to find my content can. And stay tuned for next week for the life path for child. I'm surprised at how fast this is going. It's a little bit overwhelming every time to do a series like this because there's just, you got 9 videos, not including the intro or the conclusion video, and it's an undertaking. It's a little stressful to not be able to do any other videos in the meantime, so I'm kind of just like happily moving through these and enjoying myself, and yeah, thank you all so much. I'll see you all soon. Have a lovely week.